Oh, we are. Okay.
Anyone have any cool stories they want to share?
Um,
Davey, do you have any stories to share? Oh wait.
Oh, my Davey.
Oh wait, Davey's not here.
Wait a minute. I just realized something. Last time I was on here, last week, I was down here and Matt was there and Davey was there. So I could just send you the thing.
Oh, I have each window cut out. So like I put mine where I normally am and then put Matt where he normally is. Then I'll just cover Davey's name.
back on the bottom now.
Oh, okay, yeah, that works too.
Just spent all that time working on it.
See how the hierarchy works on this show.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I'm back. I'm Joe.
Joe's back. I told everyone. I said I didn't make my bed in the background this time. But remember how that flag says San Diego? Well, look, if you look up there, it says Michigan.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got the Capitals flag also. There we go.
You have the weirdest teams.
Just hate being happy when it comes to sports.
Cowboys, Capitals.
I don't know why I'm like this. So
I have Pontiac up there too. The folks need to know that. Now I messed up my camera and I'm not going to be able to get it back. But
Tommy's team doesn't even exist anymore.
Nothing I like exists anymore.
Yeah.
This is the Fake Racers podcast. Davey didn't show up tonight. I don't know if I'm doing him wrong by saying that, but
yeah.
Tommy's filling in. Tommy's our standby.
Hi. I'm back. Unexpectedly.
Hey, Tommy, you up?
Back by unpopular demand.
Yeah, it's funny because I almost wasn't because I was just napping a little bit ago. So legitimately, when you asked that, it could have been just as easily, no, I'm not up.
Oh my goodness.
Hopefully Davey's okay. Probably is. He's napping.
Yeah, he's a sleepy boy.
My microphone isn't like picking anything up, so that's cool. Gotta love that.
Well, we can hear you, so.
Oh, I hear you.
That's great that you can hear me, but if the viewers can't hear me, oof, got issues.
Dare I say problems?
Problems.
I'll just turn it up. But this last weekend we had a lot of great racing, and we're just gonna dive right into it without any little stories because it's Bristol, baby.
Yeah.
He's over there.
Hello.
Oh, I see him. I didn't notice him at first.
I can't tell what part of him that is, but it is.
I thought it was like a pile of clothing or something.
The viewers at home can't see him, but you guys can.
Yeah.
But Truck Series was Thursday night. I was in the booth calling a race that actually was the same length as the Truck Series race and ended way before the Truck Series race. So that was cool.
Hey. Score one for sim racing.
Oh my god.
But Chandler Smith won it in thrilling fashion. First career victory. There were some rumblings about team orders, like John Hunter Nemechek let him go. If he did, whatever, I don't really care. Good to see Chandler Smith win a race because hopefully that saves his job in that KBM truck because we've talked about it before on this show. Toyota doesn't give drivers time.
Yep.
Any other thoughts? Trucks?
Sheldon Creed kind of bottled the finish. Because he basically had Chandler Smith beat and then he just missed the corner and let him get up next to him. And it was like, dude, you've led like 170 laps tonight. You can't do that on the only restart that matters.
He's the perfect Chevy development driver. He's just like Chase. He's just like Larson. So
yeah,
perfect.
I can say I didn't watch any NASCAR this weekend again. I just told the boys that a little bit ago, but I didn't. But I'm surprised to have seen that Chandler Smith won a race. I mean, good for him. So, every dog has their day.
He was, for a couple of years there, the top prospect in the Toyota pipeline. And whatever's going on at KBM as of late is not good for drivers in the Toyota pipeline because if they don't succeed, they're gone.
Yeah, it's
ruthless.
A lot of pressure. I think we kind of joke about it sometimes whenever we talk about it, but it's like you have to win 6 races in 2 races, or else you're not coming back next year. And it's like it's impossible. The expectations are super high. Granted, like that's I think reasonable. I mean, look, if you're going to be a professional race car driver, making money for doing this at the highest levels, especially say Cup Series, because that most likely brings in the most money these days. I think that's fair in the sense that you want the best of the best, and it's a really interesting balance between that plus that and also giving people time.
Yeah,
I think there's a lot of times where I feel like maybe just one more year would have helped, or maybe more development time. That being said, it always seemed to me like there was just a billion people in the Toyota pipeline, and I mean, when you have a situation like that, if you're not performing day one, it's next one up, and they can just kind of do that. So it's kind of a toxic environment for young drivers, I feel like, in that sense. But at the same time, I mean, the expectation, I think, is known. Like, if you don't succeed, you're gonna face the consequences.
It reminds me a lot of how cutthroat like F2 and F3 are. How it's like if you don't win immediately, like you're done.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can see it's definitely a Toyota problem, because like you look at Sheldon Creed, like he was not very good his rookie season in trucks, and then his second year he blew up and won the title. So like, even though it is trucks, you still need to give guys time to develop. I mean, we're seeing Todd Gilliland is finally starting to run better now that he doesn't have Kyle Busch constantly like standing over his shoulder. Like, why aren't you winning all the time?
On a larger picture, that's kind of with racing as a whole. Then there's a lot of different factors that go into it, and it could be a whole discussion. But as far as like finances go, I mean, obviously, who has the most money plays into a big effect of that. Who could bring the most sponsorship? And that maybe that always has, but I think even more so today with just the rising costs. You need to succeed. You're not gonna. No one, not a sponsor, not a team, is gonna be happy with you running 15th every week.
Yeah,
in a top truck, and you tell them, oh, don't worry, we'll give us 2 more years, I promise. Like, they're gonna take their money elsewhere. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Logo sponsor John Hunter Nemechek, who has all kinds of experience and will win 6 races.
Yeah.
But good for Chandler Smith, finally winning a race.
Yeah.
Xfinity Series was wild, to say the least. Had a really good race, like they usually do. There you go, that car. But AJ Allmendinger, Cindric overtime restart on the front row. Not only is the win on the line, but the regular season championship. And it gets a little cutthroat once again between those two. Yeah.
Justin Allgaier found about 8 different ways to throw away that win, which even included picking the outside for that last restart.
That wasn't a bad move.
And obviously in retrospect it was, but at the time I was like, what are you doing, dude? That last 2 laps was nuts. I don't know if I've ever seen anything like that before. God.
I watched the replay of it because I wanted to see it because everyone was talking about it. It was wild. I mean, that's kind of classic. At the same time, me being the purist of racing, like, okay, of course that'll happen because of a green-white checkered and like stuff like that. And that, I don't know how I feel about that. But I mean, either way, it was, I guess, exciting, and people like contact and cars spinning and crashing. So good. I don't know, whatever. If that's your thing.
Wasn't a big fan of Cindric. Now, I understand he's angry. He just got used up for 3 corners, right? On that last restart, pretty much. Got used up in 1 and 2 initially. Got used up in 3 and 4. And got used up back in 1 and 2. That's how AJ got back through, was Allgaier getting stupid on the bottom.
Allgaier sailed it in there and couldn't hang on to the bottom.
I didn't like dumping him like that, coming to the line. I feel like that's something that could have been avoided.
I mean, yes, but also behind the wheel in the heat of the moment.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. Like, that's when I see stuff like that, I always have to put myself in the helmet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's stupid from the outside, maybe, and careless. But then when you're behind the wheel in that situation and you just got used up and you're fighting for the regular season title, which that makes me sick even saying that. But I don't know. I'd be mad too. So
well, Tommy, shouldn't you just recognize the regular season champion because it's a pure format for the championship compared to?
Oh, and I did. So congratulations. Congratulations, AJ Allmendinger.
2021 Xfinity Series champion.
Yeah, he did it.
Yeah.
The thing is, Cindric has had such a bad reputation, coming up the ladder about wrecking people. Right? Look, his first and only truck win, he dumped Kaz Grala.
He ran Sam Mayer into the wall about 30 laps before then too.
I'm okay with that, but
yeah.
So he came up with this kind of, he dumps people, he wrecks people. He's kind of gotten away from that. That's why he won a championship last year, because he didn't make too many enemies. But when you see those flashes come out, it makes you worry, especially because he's going to be moving to Cup next year, right? So I don't know.
I'm not too worried. Like, he's a good driver, and I don't know. I see. I don't think it's a problem. Now, that doesn't mean I like Austin Cindric.
Right.
I don't think it's that big of a deal. I mean, again, it's Bristol. It's heat of the moment stuff, and I get it, but I don't think it's that big of an issue.
Not that it's a problem, but once you start getting back into that habit, I worry about it. If it starts happening more and more, especially with the Cup cars, a lot of these drivers are going to say, well, it's composite bodies, so we can rough each other up. Sure, but also no.
Yeah.
But it was a good Xfinity race, so thumbs up. Racing at Bristol. We move on to the Cup race. Boy, Kyle Larson gets handed a victory from Chase Elliott by way of Kevin Harvick getting an L. We'll talk about the ending in a second, but our 4 drivers eliminated to no one's shock. At least 2 of them, or actually 3 of them, to be fair. Eric Almirola, Michael McDowell. I'm trying to find our original picks. Eric Almirola, Michael McDowell, and
I had
Tyler Reddick, Kurt Busch. You had You had 3 of the 4. Davey and I both had 2.
I think Reddick was the only one I got wrong. I think I had Brad instead of Reddick, didn't I?
No, you had Reddick and Brad. You didn't have Kurt Busch, which I think
that's what it was.
That was a pretty fair assessment at that point, because Kurt CDR has been pretty good, but those guys getting eliminated. Any shocks?
I mean, I'm not shocked after Richmond.
Yeah.
I mean, if you would have told me that after Darlington, I would have said, "Oh, that sucks."
I'm just surprised.
No way.
I'm surprised they missed the setup that bad.
For Kurt,
their car was terrible. Kurt was.
I'm really, I'm just bummed because, like, the 2 guys that I care about the most in NASCAR these days are Tyler Reddick and Kurt Busch.
Yeah.
They made it in, which I was super jazzed about. You know, Reddick having a late push in the regular season, and squeaking in thanks to some definite misfortune from Austin Dillon. But either way, it was like, okay, good. You know, can breathe a little bit. And Kurt Busch, of course, doing Kurt Busch things and winning a race that I never expected him to, and doing what he does, right?
Yeah.
And then just to see them just fall out in the first round, like, great. Now what? I don't know. I don't know if I have anything to look forward to, because even then it was like, well, this isn't really. I don't really care much anymore for this season, and now I really don't. So it's like, I don't know what's gonna happen.
The worst part was I was manifesting issues for like Bell and Kyle Busch, and then it almost happened. Did you guys see how bad Bell's pit stop was when they had that flat right front?
Have you seen how bad Christopher Bell actually is this year, just in general? But
I have an interesting story to tell you.
He's been very streaky, but so they blew a right front. Well, hang on. They blew a right front, and then he comes down to pit road, and then they changed the lefts first for no reason. And then they're like, "Oh, we should probably go fix the right side," and then they run to the other side and like
didn't he? And then he barely, or was that Chase? They didn't really have time to get prepped. I forget who, but
I don't know.
I think it was him. I don't know why you do left side tires first then.
Yeah, and under any circumstance, unless you're at Watkins Glen, like, why are you doing lefts first? But what I was saying about Bell is he like won, and then kind of did nothing, and then before the playoffs, he got on another hot streak again, and then playoffs hit, and then
Crazy part.
they've been all right.
Chris Rebel has a champion crew teammates that have all been really, really good here. Hasn't really been much better than, if not worse, Jones. Like,
Shocker.
yeah.
Couldn't have seen that coming.
I don't know. I was listening to podcasts. That question got. The only thing that Christopher Bell is physically better in this year, raw speed, which doesn't account for the driver, just accounts for the car, and then restarts. So, if you look at the races where Bell has done good, restarts towards the end of the race.
Yeah.
So, and that goes to that dirt background. I think. But, anyways.
By the way, Joe, who's your favorite driver again?
I just, man, it makes me so
Yeah.
angry that it, and that's why I have all that grudge against Toyota with the way the development system. Eric Jones got a top 10. Matt Benedetto got a top 10.
They both ran really well tonight. Bubba ran really well too.
Yeah, top 15 most of the night for Bubba. I think he ended up finishing the 16th or 17th.
Something like that, yeah.
We'll talk about him in a couple topics here, but
I just had to look up the season stats for Christopher Bell and Eric Jones just now, and just at a quick glance, I am much more impressed with how Eric's running in the 43 than Bell is in the 20.
Yeah.
Win be damned. Like,
yeah,
you know
it's
what I mean?
weird because he started out really good, like first 3 or 4 races, and they win Daytona, and then they drop off a cliff, and then like right before the playoffs start, they get on a hot streak.
Oh yeah, they got hot. They had 2 second places within 3 races. You could say maybe New Hampshire, if it wasn't shortened, he could have even gotten a win there.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like they really took advantage of the misfortune that a guy like Kurt Busch had.
Yeah.
Because 20th at Darlington, 29th at Bristol. 3rd at Richmond in the race where Kurt was out early. If Kurt stays in and maybe just even finishes in the top 20 somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
yep. It's been really hard to judge Bell this year, like you've been saying. Anyway,
what everyone actually wants to talk about, a little spat, Chase versus Harvick. I don't think I have to take you through it.
Yeah.
But thoughts, opinions. I know people don't. I don't like Kevin Harvick as much as the next guy.
I can't stand him. I absolutely can't stand Kevin Harvick.
But I was angry the way that race ended because I thought it was stupid.
I don't particularly dislike Kevin Harvick. He's just very meh for me. Anyone that knows me knows I dislike Chase Elliott quite a bit. Interesting to see him show a little bit of emotion. Kind of. But I literally could not care less about anything those two have going on. I just don't care. Whatever. I don't care.
Yeah.
Although Kevin should have taken off his helmet before he went over there.
Yeah.
Be a man.
I'm obviously biased because I can't stand Kevin Harvick. But to me, that was like what goes around comes around.
Mm-hmm.
So, whatever. People are going to race you the way that you race them. And it's been 20 years of you being a tough guy. So, stand up for yourself for once.
Yeah. I think, my issue with it's the fact that Chase goes out there, roughs him up, and then he's parking the car in the middle of the corner in the line for those last 30, 35 laps, whatever. It's like, do one or the other. I don't know. I feel like now too isn't the time to start making enemies with 7 races left.
No, it definitely is not. And I think when they're like, I get they want to win, and that's important. But also, like, if I can give these youngsters a little bit of advice from the way we do things in the olden days, I don't know, points racing still, keep your head about you. I get it. I get the importance that the system puts on winning. I get it. And if I'm behind the wheel, I'm going for the win, of course, too. But it's just silly. Like, there's no reason for it. It shouldn't have happened. Nothing should have happened. I don't know. And what's more is the contact they did have, I don't think should have caused the tire to go down or anything like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so like thanks to the car for doing that as well. So I don't know. You know what I mean? Like I got so many problems with it that if they want to retaliate against each other in future races, go ahead, let them take each other out, and I'm perfectly fine with that because I don't need to see any of them in the final four or whatever they want to call it. I just don't care about them. They don't interest me at all. I don't know.
I will say, if I'm Chase, I'm not even the slightest bit scared, because name one time Kevin Harvick's ever backed up something he said. He's literally all talk. Dude, he is all bark, no bite. You know, when Kyle Busch dumped him at Darlington in 2011 and he ran his mouth about that, when did Harvick ever retaliate? He never did.
I don't know.
Never did. So, and Kevin said after the race, where he went after Chase with his helmet on and then said he wanted to rip his helmet off or rip Chase's head off. Then do it. Take your helmet off, drop your gloves, and go at it.
Yeah.
Back up what you're saying for once. Because
No, I
it's
agree
been
with
20
that.
years it's 20 years of Kevin Harvick running his mouth and trying to be the tough guy. And not one time has he ever backed it up. He's never fought somebody.
I don't know. I like what you're saying, Matt. You're winning me over.
Yeah. So, the thing that makes me mad about this is the fact that he tried to right rear Kyle Larson into the outside wall. That just got completely brushed out of the way because Larson held onto it.
Yep.
Like, that's literally the same thing that Carl Edwards did to Brad Keselowski. I mean, obviously it's at a slower speed because it's Bristol, but still, you're trying with intention to turn somebody head on into the wall because he got past.
Yeah. I don't know. It was a crap situation.
Yeah.
Props to Jordan Bianchi for getting right in there with his camera. That was pretty funny.
The fact that they asked them like stop filming and he just didn't.
He just
That was
slowly.
great.
It was awesome, but you know, now everyone's saying we should run 2 pavement races there. I think people are forgetting that the spring race usually was not as good as the night race in the fall.
Yeah, it's some pretty good revisionist history that Bristol's been kind of lame the last few years. And like, everybody wants to say the dirt race was a total mess. It was like for the first stint first stage it was, and then after that it was actually a good race.
I think it's fine. Well, let's keep trying this. I mean, I don't,
This isn't the permanent solution to trying to have a dirt track on the Cup Series schedule.
No, and I know that a lot of people would say like, we could have this twice a season, but like you said, Matt, like, yeah, would we? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. So, and look, going forward, there's a lot of unknowns with the car, how they're going to drive, contact, who's going to be good, whatever, right? Whatever you want to say. And I just don't know yet. Like, yeah, we could have this 2 times a year if it was also, a playoff race at that point.
Yeah.
I have one neat trick that will make every race into a playoff race. I can't share that. No, that's a secret. But anyway.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's just a mess, and it was like idiotic that I didn't even have to get there because the Gen 6 is so fragile that you look at it wrong and your radiator's going to blow up.
Yeah.
So, yeah, whatever. And again, like with people pointing out, like, oh, well, Chase and Joey had their stupid wreck where Chase missed the corner last year. And it's like, yeah, but Chase wasn't still in the lead after that. That's the difference.
Yeah, but there's also a history of Chase doing stuff.
Yeah. I'm not going to say that Chase Elliott's an angel, but I'm not going to fault him for standing up for himself.
Yeah, I didn't like how he was trying to play the victim card. Like he got his revenge. You get what I'm saying? Like you got your revenge, and then trying to say that you weren't doing what you were doing. I hate that. Like, oh no, I wasn't
Joe,
blocking him.
You, in the notes here, you look like you want 2 pavement races at Bristol.
I just said, that's where you could get rid of one of those stupid Atlanta track dates or Las Vegas. I mean, I'm not going to judge Atlanta until we see it, but.
Have you guys seen the pictures of Atlanta since they started the repave?
I've seen them tearing up the old asphalt. That's as recent as
somebody tweeted a picture.
Did that just fall?
It did.
I think
yeah,
just fell.
That might be a poltergeist.
I think so.
Somebody tweeted a picture of the pavement, and it looks like Coca-Cola Speedway in India.
Oh lordy!
It looks ridiculous.
Yeah,
like it is so steep and so narrow.
I just don't. Are we ready for this discussion real quick? Because I know you've probably had this before when the news came out.
You've got.
But I wasn't here.
2 minutes.
Okay. What are you doing? I don't know. All right. So you want more super speedway style racing. I get that's what they want. Because they love that. They love when there's big packs of cars. They love big crashes. What are you doing? Narrowing the racetrack. If you want that, you want to bank it higher. Sure, great. But don't narrow the racetrack. What are you doing? I don't understand that. Are you trying to promote more people squeezing into one spot so they will crash? I'm not sure. I don't know what the goal is there. It's stupid. I don't like it. Bad.
Yeah. And it doesn't help that the last race on the old pavement was an absolute
so
banger,
great.
and every driver was like, "We love this."
And I totally understand needing to pave it because when pieces of the track are coming up and causing red flags, I get it. I'm with the 110%. You know, I wouldn't have minded just to repave, but I don't need the reconfiguring. I don't need it. I don't see the point. And you look at, Homestead, right? Which is like what kind of, if there was a decent analog of what old Atlanta was like, it would be Homestead. That's a wide racetrack, and you got grooves all over the wazoo, and it's pretty well banked now too. I just don't get it. I don't understand the thought process. If someone could tell me, why did you do this? Well, let me know, because I don't get it. I just don't understand what they do with a lot of things in NASCAR, and I have a lot of issues with that. But this is a head scratcher. I just don't get it. Don't understand.
Entertainment, this is not a competition.
Yeah,
that's I don't
the
like
issue.
that.
And it's one of those things where I don't want to judge a book by its cover before.
I'm judging. The cover looks crap.
I'm cautiously optimistic, and I want it to work. I want it to produce good races, but I'm like, I don't know if I like the decision.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it is what it is, right? It is what it is. IndyCar ran the Laguna Seca.
Yeah.
Tommy probably actually watched this.
I did every single lap, baby, all 95.
Alex Palou placed second. Herta finally wins a race. He dominates. Grosjean third, gets his third podium of the year
in a thrilling fashion.
Yeah,
might I add.
He was flying.
And with his second place finish, Palou, pretty much as long as he doesn't have a massive failure next week, has the championship on lock.
Yeah. So one important piece of the puzzle that we talked about yesterday, last week on the show, was how Scott Dixon always stays around. Not this time, baby. He's out of here. See you later. Try again next year.
He can't hurt us anymore.
He can't. Now, on the flip side, Marcus Ericsson is also out, but we kind of expected that. Which, whatever. The points battle, as you get closer and closer to the end, it exponentially gets like more and more difficult to make up those points, and it was kind of gonna happen. But now it's still. It's going to be big for anyone to overtake Palou, but not impossible. May I remind you, Long Beach has walls, big scary concrete walls on either side. And if he makes a mistake, and it's a real bumpy racetrack, it could happen. There's no telling. All right, anything can happen. And for Palou, he's managed to weather the storm. 2 bad races at the Indy GP and Gateway, both retirements, and somehow is still on top. And I'm just, how can you beat that? It's gonna take a Herculean effort. But even with one of those by Pato O'Ward and Aaron McLaren team, they're gonna need a miracle, really. They can't rely on just outpacing them, Palou, that is, and CGR. It's just not gonna happen, especially when CGR's teammates and it's all going to him, right? They're gonna have to get some luck from Palou having a bad day. And a really bad day at that. Otherwise, you could put a bow on it for the 10 team.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that Pato's run really poorly the last 2 races.
Yeah.
It's not only does Pato got to win, but Palou's got to have major issues for a team.
Absolutely.
To be a thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Alex Rossi wrecked early because everything hurts and I'm dying.
Yeah. Might I add, the broadcast was extremely stupid when they started talking about that because they thought his steering broke, when that's not at all what happened. He just got loose and then went back into Herta's car and then bumped off his rear tire, but whatever. Yeah. Not the point. The point is, we can't have anything nice for Alexander Rossi. But I would like to say about Colton Herta that I, in my first ever IndyCar pick on the Fake Racers podcast, predicted the Colton Herta dub. not only just a dub, but a dominating dub as well. And to that I say, I told you so. I don't know. I don't think anyone would have argued that he would possibly win, but yeah. Which begs the question, if Rossi didn't do the sponge, does he challenge for the win? Or at least the podium? I say yes.
I think so, yeah. Because the two of them had gapped the field by the time it happened.
It could have been very, very interesting. And how would that play into... I mean, because that knocks Pato Award down a spot. I don't know, dog, but it could have been interesting. But oh well.
You also have to think Rossi's thinking about where he's going to be on the Andretti totem pole next year.
Yeah.
With Colton and now Grosjean coming over.
Yeah.
Sounds like to the 28. So, still don't know if they're going to have that fourth car or what they're doing with Hinch's ride. Am I forgetting any Andretti? 26, 27, 28, 29. They have another one?
Hinch is the 29. The 98 usually runs part-time, and that's basically a fifth Andretti car.
So they got the four cars, pretty much. So he's probably... He needs... If he's not, which he probably isn't, because Alexander Rossi is cool as a cucumber at all times, except when he's behind the wheel of a race car. Yeah. He might be a little worried about where he's going to fall in the totem pole, the pecking order with the team.
It's something for him to be. I mean, it's tough because they're going to have a lot of really, really good drivers there. Not to say Ron Hunter-Reay and James Hinchcliffe haven't been good in the past. I mean,
but
clearly
they've fallen off.
Everybody knows that it's not the same now for them.
Something's not working for Hinch.
So Rossi, because I think everybody knows he's younger, he has more potential. It's not as big of a concern. We feel like he's in a good spot right now. But going to next year with, like you said, Grosjean possibly going over there and Herta there and Rossi there, you have a very, very strong lineup. I think they could benefit from maybe being down a car to just those three to really focus on them. I mean, the pace that Rossi's shown this week, the finish wasn't what he deserved. And I don't know that his finishes have ever been deserved in the past couple months, years even. But either way, things seem to be trending back up, at least from a pace standpoint. He looks like he's able to get back up towards the front and could be a competitor next season. I really think it's going to be important for him to finish out Long Beach strong. I really, really do. If he doesn't, that's going to open the door for, like you said, Joe, a little bit of a shift around on the totem pole. It can be dangerous.
I was going to suggest like downsizing to 3 cars might even be a good idea because, like, I don't know because Hinchcliffe is not running well, and I don't know really what good it's going to do to your team to just have to field that 4th car kind of running in the back. But yeah, it doesn't bode well when you have like Grosjean, like that drive he made up through the field. Like there was a point where he was fast enough where he could have won.
Yeah.
You almost think Rossi might get pushed down the pecking order a little bit with how good Grosjean's been. Yeah,
it's hard to say. I mean, the new guy I think is never going to be. It's hard to say, at least at first.
It's the new toy.
And what we'll see from the outside is probably not that. But I think you get a couple races into the season, the results are going to speak for themselves, and then we'll see.
And to give them credit, I feel like Andretti knows that Rossi's run well. It's just they can't catch a break in a lot of these races.
Right, absolutely. So. I think that's definitely part of it.
Might even help to, take the strategists and move them around. I know you're not going to break up Colton and his dad probably at this point, but
yeah.
Even though I think some of these races, it seems like they probably should. There's been times.
Oh yeah.
You can't always have that relationship, but I don't know. IndyCar, Laguna Seca, good race. I think only a rabbit got hurt instead of all the squirrels.
Yeah, he did. Colton Herta did murk a rabbit, which bummed me out a little bit.
Ironic.
That's unfortunate.
Very ironic.
The race itself I think was terrific, and that was actually the first time I've seen an IndyCar race live there. I think in 2019 I think I was out of town or something. I wasn't able to watch it, and it was so cool to see them there. Really dug it. Had a great time watching. It was exciting all the way through. You had the one caution early, and then you just saw a blend of strategies, especially most notably with Grosjean, and it was wonderful. The natural race played out, and it was just awesome.
Natural race.
Also,
Naturally,
Jimmy ran pretty well too. He had some pretty good.
Jimmy had a good day.
17th. Best career finish, had a lot of pace towards the end of the
Yeah.
race. Grosjean had to dive bomb him into the corkscrew to actually be able to pass him. So.
Yeah. And I saw people blaming Jimmy for that, and I was like, dude, he had no idea Grosjean was coming. Like, Grosjean came out like he was fired out of a cannon.
It was ridiculous. It looked like somebody
with vintage Grosjean.
I was surprised race control didn't do anything. But I think at that point they're probably in a tough spot to do something.
Yeah, they're just like, yeah, you know what, they're both fine, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, look, let's just take a step back and appreciate the fact that we're talking about a NASCAR champion and a former F1 driver racing an American Open Wheel Series at Laguna Seca and having a insane moment.
Specifically in the corkscrew.
In the corkscrew. Does it get any better than that? I don't know. It's just so cool.
Oh yeah.
But a great weekend of racing, to say the least. It's always a great.
And to finish my point about IndyCar, and I'm going to continue something that I said last week.
I've been trying to move this on for like 5
I know you
minutes.
have, but this is the one race of the week I watched.
See what happens
so
when Tommy isn't told that he needs to stick to the schedule. He just walks
I'm not
in.
doing that. Look, and Colton Herta won the race and he dominated. Even with his retirements this year, he's still going to be. I mean, if he has a decent race at Long Beach, probably 6th in the points. You always think about the what if, you know what I mean? I could say the mechanical failure at Gateway and the Nashville blunder, if you want to call it that. I mean, even without those, he's still not in title contention, but he's at least in the top 4, I think, 3rd or 4th. And, he had some early season problems as well. You take away those, man, and Colton Herta could be a championship competitor with Andretti. Oh my God. I mean, look, he's really young and he's going to have to mature with that. But when he does, it's going to be a problem for everybody else.
That dude's going to be a force to be reckoned with. Yeah.
Yeah.
Scary.
Okay, Joe, go ahead.
I had a segue and then you cut me off. So now I don't have a segue.
Well, I'm sorry.
You just do it anyway.
You know what isn't scary?
What?
Heading on over to circlediecast.com and using code JTN at checkout for free shipping on your order of $20 or more. Well, this week I don't believe we're going to do our Circle B picks because you can't go wrong with anything at circlediecast.com.
You really can't. Although I would, if I could, I'll recycle my, Casey Mears photograph. They're still available. Again, limited stock. Order yours today. Order 3 of yours today.
Yeah.
You need them.
A bunch of
but let's say you did that.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, this is like $24, and now I've got a bunch of more shipping that I don't want to pay for. What can I do?
You use code JTN.
That's
You'll get
right.
that free shipping.
Way.
Yeah.
You also help support us here on JT. Matt, I heard the keyboard type. Did you have anything or?
Actually, I do. Okay. Hey. Actually, I don't have a thing, but I picked out the Chase Elliott Napa Stars and Stripes adult tee because the front page of Circle B is all Kevin Harvick and Chase Elliott merch right now.
It always has been.
So fly your colors, go to war.
Show everybody you have no emotion.
Also on this Chase Elliott shirt, the 9 is skewed forward instead of backwards. So go ahead and get that. That's
like, you know what? That's a collector's item. That's gonna be like the upside down plane stamp. You better hop on that.
Are you talking about the inverted Jenny?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm mad that I know what that is.
Yeah.
Remember to use code JTN at checkout, circlediecast.com. Free shipping on your order of $28 or more. Shake up at 2311. Finally, Booty Barker was promoted to crew chief on the 23 team after being in the engineering department all year long. Mike Wheeler's finally full-time competition director, which is the position he held throughout the year, as well as previously at Levine Family Racing. Bubba scored a top 20 this week. Seemed to have decent chemistry communication with Barker, which was good. I was under the impression when the season started they were really going to try to get Jerry Baxter with him, keep those two together. They had a lot of good runs last year, and you wonder what if they had a little more funding, how they'd do, but we like the move, right? We're all thumbs up on the move.
Oh yeah.
Oh
I
yeah.
love Booty
Well,
Barker.
number one, we stand Booty Barker in this house,
Absolutely.
undeniably. And number two, Mike Wheeler.
It's his strategy. He's been net negative on strategy his last 3, 4, 5 seasons.
It's pretty brutal. Expected better, and I think everybody did.
That's your fault if you expected better. I'm sorry, but that's kind of your fault.
No, but I think it's a good move.
Yeah,
because you're getting Booty Barker on top of the booth. Like that's what it's all about. And where am I going with this? I don't know. I did expect more, and I think next year they will have more.
Yeah,
but I mean, I want them to run well, and I especially want them to like, I don't know. I want them to make the playoffs next year.
Well, they will because they'll have Kurt Busch, and he just always makes the playoffs.
Yeah. Okay, but you know what I mean with Bubba.
You saw Bubba finished where he ran. Right. They were around 13th or 14th all night, and they finished like 16th. Yeah. They didn't run 9th and then finish 22nd. Yeah, like that's already a good start. And the fact that they're a duo named Bubba and Booty, like that's just a good. Does
not get much better than that.
Yeah, I love Booty Barker. I first there used to be a show back in like 2007 called NASCAR in Primetime, and they followed the Haas guys around a lot, and that was Booty Barker was Johnny Sauter's crew chief at the time, and I like became a huge fan of him back then, and I've like loved him since then. I'm happy to see him still around. He's
been working with TRD's development program. He was at Venture 80 for a couple of years there after getting boot from Jermaine Racing.
Yeah, I was gonna say he was with Jermaine for a while too.
God, that was an L for Jermaine, and now they're dead.
Coincidence? I think not.
I think this is good for Mike Wheeler. He has, it's the strategy thing. He's obviously a very smart guy. But getting him off of the box and letting him focus on the competition, which was already, again, I've said it from the start of the season, that was already kind of weird to have him be the crew chief competition director because this team got formed. It was announced, right? It was announced forever ago, but this really got formed in December.
Yeah, January, it was fairly late into the off season.
Not no bueno. So, good move. We like it. We're happy.
Yeah. It seems like Wheeler's good at setting up a car, but not good in the moment to moment thing. It's to steal an analogy from football. Anthony Lynn, who's now the offensive coordinator of your Lions, very good at drawing up plays, but if you need him to make decisions in the heat of the moment, not very good at it. So I feel like Wheeler's a similar thing where he's very good at getting a car to set up and be fast. But then when it comes to can you put Bubba in the best position at the end of the race, he's not very good at it. So yeah, I like the move.
I like the move, and I think I really like that they did it now, and they didn't just wait to the end of the year or whatever. Like I don't know. Obviously, they don't have much to lose. I mean, they didn't make the offs this year, so whatever. But like, I think it's good that they did it now, and they can kind of build that chemistry and get some good runs going and feel good about going into next year.
I don't know if this is going to end up being the permanent fix or if they're going to go out. A guy like Jason Ratcliffe no longer has a driver because he was crew chief for Harrison Burton. Harrison Burton's leaving Gibbs. You have to think they're going to keep Ty Gibbs and Chris Gale together for some reason, even though Gale's, I know they've won all those races this year, but he's proved he's it in the Cup Series.
Who was the crew chief before?
Eric Jones.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I kind of hold some resentment, but whatever.
I never would have guessed that.
Everyone's acting like he's so good, but Kyle Busch won 5 races. Truex was in the car. Ty Gibbs is phenomenal talent. I don't know. Anyways, not the point. But a guy like Jason Ratcliffe is going to be in that Toyota year. They're going to try to keep him as much as they can. So he's probably a potential crew chief for the 45 team or for Bubba, depending on what they want to do. I think it'd probably be wiser to put him with Bubba, having a experienced crew chief with a not as experienced driver. Because the thing with Bubba is he's never had a teammate in the Cup Series.
Yeah.
And I think having Kurt Busch as a teammate's going to help a lot.
That's going to be awesome. And that's a good point that you bring up. And hey, as a Kurt Busch fan, I'll take Booty all day long.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you can't go wrong with either crew chief. Like Booty Barker and Ratcliffe are a pretty good duo. So like, if Bubba and him work out, then you can keep them together. If it's not, put him with Kurt Busch. Kurt's experience and he knows what he's doing, and put Jason Ratcliffe on there to throw some ideas on the wall.
God, what an exciting prospect! I can't wait. Oh man!
The other thing is too with Matt McCall, and no one knows where the shoe's gonna fall at Ganassi right now with employees and whatnot.
That rhymed.
Bars.
Bars, dude.
I forget Ross's crew chief's name, but those two, the two Ganassi crew chiefs that are, one of them is going to be a free agent, if not both. Those are guys that are going to be looking for good jobs and probably deserving. McCall especially, because he's really, really good with Kurt Busch, strategy-wise, and I don't know. It's weird. There's a lot more to this offseason than all this new teams and driver shakeup, whatnot. Because Call League 2 is up to the Cup Series, so there's two. Their GMS has said they're going to be in the Cup Series. I don't know. Bye-bye Starcom later.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that got announced too. Starcom shut
I don't want to admit
it
this,
didn't get announced. It kind of got leaked.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, I think this was after. This must have been out like right when Starcom was formed, and this was like kind of after probably their first full-time year, and probably after like Furniture Row had all this recent success. I thought, man, I think I wrote a message in like a group chat that Starcom Racing was going to be like the 2026 Cup Series champion team.
Oops.
We all miss sometimes.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna miss big.
If only we had a screenshot of that, it could go on the Bad USRL Takes Twitter.
I can find it for you, and I'll dig that up and I'll send it over. It was not a good take at all, but hey, look,
it is what it is.
RIP Starcom. It sucks that it happened, but you know what? They're kind of just a waste out there anyway.
Yeah.
So
they fired Landon Castle. That's karma.
Yeah, I mean, if they still had Landon Castle, I mean, yeah, okay, funding, I get it, but like clearly, whatever Half was bringing in wasn't enough to repair the damage of the crash damage.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Car crash funny laugh.
I mean, that's the thing about Landon Castle is if you're gonna have a new team and you're trying to save money, how about bring a guy in who doesn't wreck it all? This season, I gotta say, he's had a lot of incidents, but I don't know. I think he's just kind of scared for his career, maybe. But either way, you know what I mean. Okay, I'm done.
Other news this week was Sheldon Creed's gonna go up to Xfinity with RCR.
Creed.
Sheldon Creed.
Don't know if he is taking Myatt's ride or they're gonna make a second car.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Matthew.
Myatt's not been very good this year. He started out really strong. Like he ran great at Daytona. He won Homestead. He had like a couple other really good runs, and since then he's been really good at finishing 12th.
Just what you like to see it going into the playoffs.
Yeah, and it bums me out because I like Myatt a lot, and he did try to steal my girlfriend on Twitter once, but I don't hold that against him. But yeah, it really bums me out to see him not run too well.
I hope he comes back for next year, and it goes back to the thing we talked about, giving people time and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I would like to see them open up the 21 again because I really like the way the 21 looks, and maybe
that font is so good.
Yeah, maybe they shift because Myatt ran that last year in select races.
Yeah,
and I think they move him back to the 21 and put Creed in the 2 because Creed 2, good, happy.
Yeah.
So I think that's what I would do. I'm not Richard Childress Racing, and if I was, it'd put me in a car before anything else. But in theory. Yeah. That's what I would do if I couldn't do that.
Nepotism, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, not like that team doesn't have any nepotism going on anyway.
Well, yeah, There's also the rumor that Ty Dillon's going to be in a Cup car. Yeah, a good move.
Yeah, we talked about that last week, and it's just kind of a waste of a seat, I feel like.
If I have a feeling the outlook for that team would be learn for next year.
Yeah, and I think I get
Ty's
that.
a guy. He's got experience.
Like,
he's young, so if he ends up doing really well, now you got a young prospect driver. If he doesn't do well, you replace him with a guy like Sheldon Creed, who's got the GMS ties now.
Yeah,
options.
There's options. I'm not a big Ty Dillon fan as like a driver. Like I don't think he's really that good. I think he belongs probably in Xfinity. and that's fine.
Like Justin
because
Allgaier.
yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
It's not funny.
But
True, though.
I know.
I don't think he's done anything in my book to deserve a Cup seat. And it's not like it's one of those situations where he's had like a year and a half in Cup. No, I mean, this guy has been in Cup for multiple years, lost his ride because Jermaine died, and then had the runs in Gibbs equipment this year and didn't do anything. So I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Let's take it back to the Sheldon Creed thing real quick, though. It is cool that RCR can take him higher. So see how that works.
What?
It's a Creed song.
Oh.
Yeah.
We higher.
And they did.
All right. Sorry, I had to get that out of me. We couldn't end the show without me getting that out of me.
Weekend preview. IndyCar finale in Long Beach. Gonna be a fun
Hey.
race. Hopefully,
It's gonna be fun.
want someone to crash through the fountain because race car crash is good.
That would
Yeah.
be pretty cool if somebody just
Crashes.
ramped over the curb and just yard sailed the fountain.
Crashes and explosions are good. We need racing to be like
Minimal.
we need it to be like a junkyard at the end of the thing. I'll tell you
Yeah.
what. No, but I think it's going to be fun. I'm going to be there in person. My first ever IndyCar race in person.
They're a good
Cannot
time.
wait. Going to be cool. I'll be there on Saturday for qualifying and such, and Sunday for the race, and going to be awesome. Possibly one of the last races for Sebastian Bourdais at IndyCar. Don't know what he's doing next year. So good I can see him before anything happens, before he becomes a Ford factory driver or whatever, more so than he already is. And also seeing Jimmy Johnson in person, it's going to be cool, because I enjoy him in IndyCar Google times more than I did watching him in NASCAR. Get to see James Hinchcliffe possibly with his last race in IndyCar, things like that. Ryan Hunter-Reay, I don't know, who knows? Max Chilton maybe. And best of all, no matter who wins the championship, it isn't going to be Scott Dixon, so I won't go home disappointed.
Yeah.
So it's going to be great.
I'm going to manifest an Alexander Rossi win, so just go ahead and pencil me in, because I picked him for Portland and he finished second, and then I didn't pick him this week and he wrecked. So
the opposite of what you were trying to do last week.
Yeah. I didn't manifest it enough by picking him. So.
Yeah. You make a pick, Joe. I got to think about this one.
Give me Joseph Newgarden.
Good old Jose.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna be. I'm gonna make an easy pick and say Palou. Not that he's lit the world up on street courses, but that's the thing. I don't think it really even matters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't matter. He's going to be good. All the Ganassi effort is really going to go towards him and that team anyway. And Ganassi's been good on street courses this year, helped by Ericsson winning too. Maybe lucking into both of them, but it doesn't matter. They still won the race, so they know they have good pace there. And I think there's that's where he locks up the title.
Gonna make a pick for Davey this week, Jimmy Johnson.
All right. Oh, you sure you don't want to pick Dalton Kellett for him? Because I know he loves Kellett.
We'll finish about the same spot. Ayo!
Ayo. That's not fair to Jimmy Johnson. I will say that. That is not fair.
Davey messaged me, by the way. He is alive, so he fell asleep.
Is.
Yeah.
Get him in here.
Just bring him in for the very end of the show.
Poor Davey.
Yeah.
Just did the show without it.
Just hard cut swapping out Tommy for him, and he's like, "Hi, it's me, Davey, who's been here the whole time."
Yes, of course. He'll have to set his lights to blue so he kind of blends in more.
Truck Series picks.
Were we at Vegas?
Yep, we're at Vegas. Truck Series.
Oh, we didn't even talk about Austin Hill breaking my heart.
Oh
my God, that was pain.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, so I don't know.
He cleared himself off of somebody else's nose when he wasn't clear.
He came off 4 and Josh Berry was under him, and he tried to kind of move down to try to force his way, and Berry couldn't move in time and just hooked him, and he killed the inside wall and then came up and got clobbered by Haley Deegan, and it knocked him out of the playoffs.
That's
pain.
tough.
Yeah, pain. Let's see, where are we at? Vegas? Give me Friesen. He's been running really well, and he's good at Vegas.
Anyone know if
He's
Clearman's in this?
This shows you how. Go ahead. Well, I was gonna say, this shows you how out of touch I am. Is Friesen in the playoffs?
Yes.
Good for him.
He like clinched one of like the 2 places on points, and he's run like top 5 every playoff
Jesus.
race. He's been really good this year.
Give me Sheldon Creed. I think I picked him last week, and he should have won. So I'll pick him again.
I'm gonna take Grant Enfinger.
Yeah, Fing longer. Grant on Vongel.
I don't know what car he's in. Truck he's in. Not in a car. Because the entry list isn't available yet. So
yeah,
fun. And for Davey, if Parker Clingerman's right, Parker Clingerman.
Yeah. If not, we'll reach out to him.
Yep. Xfinity Series first race of the second round for them. I guess it's the
First round. Last night.
First round. Yeah.
Okay.
Get it right, Joe. Jesus.
Proud of you, Joe.
I'm so tired, man. It's been a long day.
I feel ya.
First race, opening round, playoffs, Las Vegas. A lot of crazy stuff happened last weekend. AJ Allmendinger won this race in the spring. I believe it's going to be a nighttime race now. Hot in Las Vegas this time of year to run a daytime race. Do we have any thoughts? Noah Gregson's obviously pretty hot right now, despite a decent so-so day at Bristol.
Well, no. You just said the race is running at night, so he's not going to be hot. And for that, I'm picking Myatt Snyder.
You gonna hook him? Are you just gonna pick all 2s?
He might. Yeah, I'm gonna pick. Well, I'll make my pick later.
Well, he didn't pick Newgarden for IndyCar, so.
Oh yeah, never mind. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
And I'm not changing my pick either.
I'm gonna pick him before Joe can. Give me Daniel Hemrick. I am manifesting. It's gonna happen eventually, right?
I wanted to say him because it's got to, but I didn't want to take anyone else's Daniel Hemrick pick away. So
we have to see if Joe doesn't pick Hemrick one of these weeks, if it pays off.
I didn't pick him last week.
Yeah, and he finished like 4th. You also weren't there.
I didn't pick him though.
It's about. All right. Yeah.
Be fair. I will take the tough race. Like the obvious picks are AJ or Cindric, but something's gonna happen for one of those
Pick
two.
Brandon Brown. You won't.
Brandon Jones. Because I kind of.
Have I said that I don't like Brandon Jones before?
I have a feeling
okay,
you've
I'm
mentioned
glad
it.
I'm not alone in not really liking Brandon.
I just don't really like him. I don't know what to tell you.
He's just kind of there.
But interesting pick because things can get crazy, especially on late restarts. I can see it. I can picture it in front of my eyeballs right now. Brandon Jones lines up 3rd because of some pit strategy, and then Cindric and Allmendinger are racing for the lead on a green-white checkered, and they get into each other, and Jones goes to the win. Like, that's how he wins races anyway, so.
Yeah,
sure.
He did outduel Kyle Busch at Phoenix last year. Give him some credit.
Once.
Kyle didn't even have his monitor on.
Yeah, honestly, he didn't. He hadn't turned awesome mode on yet.
Yeah, yeah.
Cup Series first race of the second round of 12.
Do you think when Kyle Busch passes people in Xfinity races, he does the Davey Rocket League thing where he's like, "I'm just better"?
I would.
Sorry, Cup. Who we got for Cup?
Got a Cup Series. It's a 7:30 start time on a Sunday night. So can't wait for the ratings overreaction this week.
But the number on the website isn't high enough, so it means NASCAR is dying. Right. The number that nobody cares or even knows what it means. Yeah.
What?
I'm picking. Numbers. Can I pick? I'm picking.
Pick.
Sliced bread. Joey Logano.
Actually,
I have to be boring about it.
Let me
sorry.
bring up some good Joey Logano facts. He's the worst Penske on the 550 tracks. His 750 splits are 10 times better than his 550 splits. Penske as a whole, outside of Ryan Blaney, has been awful on 550.
What are they running at Vegas?
550.
He's gonna turn it around. It's gonna be Logano. It's gonna be the Joey Logano show. Yeah.
Honestly, I don't understand the strategy behind running really poorly on 550 tracks. I just wouldn't do that.
Get more horsepower.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just built different.
That's what Chevy did.
Yeah.
Got more horsepower.
Oh my god, who am
I don't know, because look, there's the thing, right? Is Joey Logano not going to win? No. So that's why I'm picking him, because he's going to win.
Yeah, you got a good point there.
I don't know what to tell you.
Can't argue with that. All right, well, I guess I'm picking for second then.
Yeah.
Give me Truex. I don't know. I just feel like picking outside of Hendrick because you guys bully me for it. So.
Who'd you pick last week, Bowman? Or no, you couldn't because he's bad.
I took Logano. So.
That's right, you did.
That didn't work either.
Yeah, well, I manifested a Bowman top 5, so I'm all right with it.
I wrote your.
I am Joe.
I don't pick the. Shoot.
Well, if you're Joe and I'm Davey, who's Joe? Or who's? Wait, that's Matt.
He's me.
Matt.
He's
Joe's
me,
Matt.
Yeah.
Oh.
Cup Series, Las Vegas. Isn't it right there in front of you? Easiest pick ever, Kyle Larson.
Yeah, well, because I didn't pick him because I knew if I picked Larson, you'd be like, "Oh, look at Matthew picking Larson again." Oh, he's lame. Boo, boo,
But actually,
boo, Joe, boo.
It's a night race. William Byron has been really good on the 550. Night
That's
race
actually a pretty
goes
dank
into
pick.
his wheelhouse.
That's a pretty dank pick.
Pretty dank.
He'd be someone to watch.
I mean, he's going to finish second to Logano, so it doesn't really matter, but it's still a dank pick.
I do worry about Bowman this round. Just with the way... And I worry about Chase just because he's been so inconsistent.
I don't worry about Chase. It's okay.
Chase is really bad in the 550 stuff, so watch for him to be in a hole early in this round.
Watch, he'll be out of the top 8 or whatever it is, and then
we'll
the
go to
last race of the
Roval.
round he'll win. Yeah, because we can't have anything nice.
Yeah. Don't worry, Bowman's just better, so I'm not worried.
If I actually have to pick someone though, I would take Ryan.
All right.
So I won't take.
Oh, you didn't take Byron?
And I just want to have fun. You said we can't pick Hendrick guys.
Well,
No,
I would pick.
You said
that's
we
the
can't
thing.
pick Hendrick.
I would pick Byron because I think he's going to win. But the problem is Joey Logano is going to win, so I have to pick Logano. I have no choice.
Naturally.
Yeah.
Can't lose parlay.
What a great episode of the Fake Racers podcast, folks. Make sure if you haven't already, hit the like button and subscribe if you're on YouTube. Make sure you follow us on your favorite podcast platform. Check us out at Johto Network on Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok for some reason. Tommy, where can they find more from you?
Oh,
No, the other Tommy.
That was a joke. I knew what was happening. I did that on purpose. I'm an actor. Tommy_Bordeaux on Instagram. Tommy_Bordeaux on Twitter. I don't post much. I don't like social media. I don't like computers. I don't like society. But if you want to follow me on there, go ahead.
If you want to hear more from Matt, if you want to hear football from Mr. Matthew Steelman, you can check out Oofsides.
No, but here's something. Hold on. Time out. Because you said if you want to hear more from me, that's the cool part about it. You really won't hear more. So what's the, just follow. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? That's all I had to say about that. I'm sorry, Joe. Go ahead.
Where else can we get stuff from you, Matthew?
You can find me on Twitter at msteelman51. I make memes about Weezer a lot. You can see me there. I'm on YouTube at DaleJune88Rocks. I had a video planned. I can't remember what it is now, though. I should probably write these down. And like Joe said, I'm also on Oofsides, our football podcast, also available on on Spotify and Google playlists. And
wherever good podcasts are born or made or able to be listened to.
Yeah. And we also have a YouTube channel.
I have a question for Matthew.
Yes.
Hey man, this is an example of Matt's Twitter. Hey man, Real Big Fish is playing a concert tonight downtown.
Ugh.
You want to go?
Absolutely. All right.
Yeah.
But as always, folks, this was the Fake Racers podcast. Thank you so much for listening, and we can't wait to see you guys next week, whoever might be here, because we never know. Get some rest,
it's
guys.
a mixed bag, Mamma Mia. It might be. You never know. Ryan Pace could be on here next week.
Can you imagine?
You don't know. That'd be nuts.
Oh my god. Are we?
Are we done?
Are we just ending on an
Are we
awkward
like
silence?
done?
Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time.
Goodbye.